Think the fastest lap wins the race? Think again. In motorsport, it's not just about raw speed. It's about strategy, skill, and decision making. It's about racecraft. Racecraft is the art of knowing when to push, when to defend, and how to outthink your competition. It's choosing the perfect racing line, anticipating your rival's next move, and making split-second decisions under pressure. Fast laps look good on paper, but it's racecraft that gets you across the finish line first. In this video, we're breaking down the techniques that separate the good drivers from the great ones. So what exactly is racecraft? A quick Google search will tell you the knowledge, experience, and judgment, and we're going to concentrate on the knowledge. So I've compiled a list of what I think are the fundamentals to racecraft. Now I know this list can seem a little bit overwhelming, so I want you to think of it as a Formula 1 steering wheel. You know they have different options, things they can change. That list can become overwhelming, same as that steering wheel, but you don't use all the buttons at once, the same way you don't use all the fundamentals at once. I could sit here and explain it to you, I'd be going on forever and ever and ever. I think the best way is to just jump into a race where we're not the fastest person on track, we're at the back, we're having a terrible time, but we know what we need to do to cross that finish line first. So it's green flag, safety car has pulled in and the race has started, and the first thing we need to do is get our options up on screen. And now, depending on what you do, your driving style, you can have certain ones that are always, let's say, switched on. For me, efficiency, so important. Awareness, you need to be aware at all times. And in composure, you always want to be calm and collected. Today we're working on our consistency, so that will be on and off, because we're actually here originally to practice our consistency, ready for our previous video, which was, does weight make a difference? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So we have our options listed on screen. Now, of course, you don't have to use these same ones. You can use any others that you want as your base setup, shall we say. So for now, we'll jump straight into it. And all we're just doing is gathering information. You can see kart 7 in front, 12 had a bit of a moment, and we're right on the bumper of 2. And that's what we mean by intel. Turn 1 slippery, it was damp conditions, and you see kart 7's gone off. So we need a strategy. We need to get our timing and our adaptability, because what's going to happen into this corner is there's going to be some karts going side by side. And that's exactly the case, but as you see with kart 12, going into this corner, it's going to be a problem. So before we start with anything, let's get up on screen our racing line. Now, whether you think this is the right racing line or not, or you take a different line, each to their own. That's the art of racing. I'll give you a quick brief explanation as to why I take this line. I concentrate on getting all the turning over and done with. I try not to have too much steering input. As you can see, my turning in point to the apex is a lot later compared to when I straighten the wheel back up on the exit of the corner. So I like to concentrate on exit speed. Anyway, so let's just get the karts up on screen. So the car on the left we're not worried about. The car going too slow, the car in front of us is carrying the right amount of speed. He's not going to be a problem. And the current trajectory we're on, we're going to go straight into the side of kart 12. It's not going to work. So we need to think, using some common sense, exactly what that kart's doing. Now there's some options he can go, and this is how I lay it out. What's the likeliness on what line is he going to take? More than likely he's going to go along the red line. So we give that 80% chance that he's going to go on that line. And so all we need to do is to build our line around him. And the key to this is minimizing the angle we come off the racing line. I don't want to have to put any more steering input than absolutely necessary. So we just need to minimize that angle. So let's try to go ahead and execute that. We'll carry on. And that's exactly what we do. And so we go back to consistency, gathering intel, and you see that little slide from kart 2. You see that little moment, and because we're coming onto a straight, it's going to compromise his speed. So we're going to be patient, we're going to get into a slipstream and try and reel him in. We might be able to go for a move here, so we turn our adaptability on, just because anything can happen. He closes the door, we go back to consistency. We're not in a rush, we have to be smart about it. But now if we look, Alan is on the inside, and that's going to mess me and kart 2 up. But this is how I foresee, call me the Oracle, but this is how I foresee what's going to happen. The kart 13, he's going to go too deep, Kart 2's going to slip through, and we need to make sure we get through there quicker than Kart 2 so we can be on his gearbox, ready for the next corner. However, we start getting all our switches on, and you can see that's not what happened. Kart 13, Alan takes a different line. Kart 2 cuts across our line we was originally taking. So we just back out. It's not worth it. You need to use your brain. You need to stay alive. That's the whole point of it. As we can see, Kart 2's going for a move on Kart 13. He's got no speed coming out of that corner. But we need more information. So if we just pause it here, and we have a look on the map. So we're not worried about Kart 13. Not carrying enough speed to be a problem to us. We know the path that both karts have taken. So we want to concentrate on Kart 2. Now Kart 2, he could potentially take this line. If he takes this line, it's a bit of a problem for us because now we're going to be battling along the straight. I don't really want to do that. I want to try and get him on turn 3 a lot later on in the track. And so the line, not so much I'm hoping for, but I'm anticipating for, is this line here. And if he does that, we can just get into the slipstream. We're right on his gearbox, ready for turn 3. We're not trying to battle straight away and waste time. Efficiency is what we're aiming for. And that's exactly what he does. And so, as we check 13 off the list, we sit into his slipstream, and we just sit on his gearbox. We're not going to get desperate. We're not going to try and push him out of the way. We're just going to be patient. And now we're going to worry about our line choice. Now we're thinking about the overtake. We're going to concentrate on our braking into turn 3. Make sure we get that right to get the overtake done. And we do. We managed to brake a bit later than him. We had the inside. Now we're just on the defence. Make sure we get our braking and acceleration right in turn 4. Again, it was damp conditions. But once we got that done, we feel like we executed that corner, we don't even need to worry about it. And so we can just look ahead, back to consistency, and just gather information on Kart 6 in front of us. And just ready for the adaptability. You can see he's having a bit of a moment. We might be able to get the overtakes, pick a line. Does he move over? No, so we'll move over. But now we're off the racing line into this section. So what exactly do we do here? So we pull up a map again. We've got the inside. He's on the racing line. We have the right to the corner, but how do we execute this? And mentally, all I do is I just move the racing line over, just shift the whole thing over and bring it to me. So I imagine the track's moved over. We may take the mick a little bit with track limits on the exit of this corner here, but as long as we get it done sensibly, we'll be okay. And then we just go back to consistency. That's what we're working on. That consistency is what got us to the car. So that consistency will get us away from the karts. See with turn 5, he looks back, misses his turning in, has to turn in aggressively, little slide. So he's going to compromise his speed going up this hill. We want to get this overtake done. So we're just going to keep our foot down and just go anywhere he's not. That's the adaptability there. Once that move's done, back to consistency. And we're already looking for more information. We've looked well ahead of the race and we can actually see some action happening. And so you can see here Kart 9 going for a move on Kart 4, and you can see Kart 3, you can't really see because of the red ring, but Kart 3 is behind waiting to get in on the action. But we don't know enough, so we need to get around this corner to see. Kart 4 has just been overtaken by Kart 9 there, and you can see Kart 3 is now going to get involved. Kart 4 has no speed, Kart 9's running away, and Kart 3 is about to go side by side with Kart 4. So we need to get our timing right. We need to be patient. And there's a way I overtake. I don't just turn up like some annoying bee. If a wasp turns up, you just whack it away with a newspaper. So you don't want to just fly up and be annoying. What you actually want to do is turn up like a lion. Because by the time you realise that lion strikes, it's too late. It's done. And so that's exactly what we're going to try and execute. Make sure we're watching. Make sure everyone's doing as what we predicted. Kart 3 going for the inside, Kart 4. They don't even know I'm here. That's that lion approach, that lion strike. That's that move done. Another one checked off the list. And now we're just watching Kart 3. Again, our strongest corner is turn 3. This guy seems to know what he's doing. There's not really a lot we can do. So the only thing we can do is apply pressure. Just put our foot on his neck. Make sure he knows we're here. Sit behind him. In the slipstream. On his gearbox, a little wobble from him there. So as we move over to the racing line, he knows we're here, he's seen. We're going to start thinking about what we need to do here. We take a tight line through here, we're thinking about the overtake. He's a bit too far away, but the pressure's got to him. Another one ticked off the list. So next up, kart 9. You see behind kart 17. Kart 17 has a little slide there, so these two are going to start fighting. We've seen that. We know exactly what's going to happen. As you can see here on the map, we've already predicted. We already know what line we need to take. And we can get that. That's the efficiency I'm talking about. Knowing what's going to happen, being really efficient with it, getting that overtake done. And now we're just going to close the gap on kart 9. But like I said, we just go back to consistency. That's what we're working on. That's what got us to kart 9. So we'll just stay with him. We're just gathering information. There's not really a lot we can do right now. You see kart 3 coming into the pits there. So I'm not sure what happened to him. Maybe he had a problem with his kart. Nonetheless, we're not too bothered. So as we can see here, we take a tight line. But you see kart 9 takes that outside line. That's the information we're gathering. So we'll try with that. But now he slides a bit. I didn't expect it. We had to get that adaptability on a bit too late. But we can see what line he's taking. So we know what we need to do. Make sure we get this overtake done. We're carrying more speed. But now he's got the inside for the right-hander. And we want to just stay alive. We want to survive this. We don't want to fight too hard. He's got the inside. We've now got the inside. He backs out of it for this corner. I think that was the smart thing to do. So we was both patient there. Good, fair battle. And just because you've been overtaken doesn't necessarily mean that the race is over. He can now come back for us. So skipping forward. Kart 1 in front. Kart 4 has a moment. Just gathering information. We see what's happening. We need to get our position right. Adaptability. Get our line choice right. Ready for the overtake. Manage to get down the inside. And now we're going to have to go round the outside of kart 4. We've got nowhere else to go. But he pushes us off wide. It was his corner, just an FYI. It was his corner. But remember what Alan done earlier. Let's call it the Alan line. He got that done. He managed to carry the speed, and it wasn't till this corner till someone could go down the inside. So we just get defending on, ready, just in case someone's come down the inside, which no one did. So we can go back to consistency again and go about our business. So kart 18 down the inside, ready for him, and we're just watching in front now. So we're looking at kart 10. There's quite a few karts here, and so they're all going to hold each other up. And again, we want to get involved. Kart 2, who we see earlier, back again. And we've got Starkey in kart 16. So we're going to look to go around the outside of him. Harris in kart 9 just absolutely overtakes all three of us on the inside. So that threw us off. Kart 16 slowed down a bit too much. We had to back off. We had nowhere to go. And kart 9 took full advantage of that. He overtook 3 people in one corner. Like, just think about that. He's got a warning on the board there, and I think that was best case scenario. What a brilliant move, if I'm honest. Took his position back. And this is what I'm saying. Just because you've been overtaken doesn't necessarily mean that your race is done. You can take the position back, so you can get caught napping like we did there. So we're just watching. You can see there's 2 karts battling in front. We'll just sit on kart 9. Be patient. We're going to stick to consistency. Consistency is just basically our racing line. Same braking points, same acceleration. You see there, we change our racing line just to see if something else would work. We can't do anything yet. It's not till turn 3 where that's our strongest corner, the biggest overtaking opportunity. So we might as well try other things while we're stuck behind him. Sit into his slipstream. We did get a bit of a bad run up this hill. I don't think it's enough to go into turn 1 side by side. So we just give him a little push along. Back to the efficiency. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to come off the throttle. He does that wide line. We do that tight line. Yellow flag. Back to green again. That was annoying. We was about to go for a move there. And now he avoids going into kart 3. So he actually has to go wide. He has to steer out. So now he's looking for the inside of kart 3. But that compromises his exit out of there. And so we make sure we get that right. I'm going to overtake. Try and go around the outside. And we check that name back off the list. Kart 3. We're watching him. We're gathering information. Yes, we know what happened to him earlier. But he could have changed his driving style, realised where he was making mistakes, improved. So don't just take as gospel what he did last time we encountered him, that he's going to do that again. We're going to gather the information. Get in his slipstream, but he doesn't actually know we're here. He hasn't looked back. And he will look back in a second. Most people do before turn 1. So we try to go to the outside. He don't even know we're here. We're going to try to sneak up like some sort of ninja and go for the overtake. He's seen us. Yellow flag. Back to consistency. So not a lot we can do there. I tell him to let him go. He says no, go on, you go. I can't take that again. The pressure was too much for me last time. My heart can't deal with that again. So that's fine, and that's fine. If you hold your hands up, I get it. When you're racing with me, I understand. So now we're looking to the kart in front, and if we just skip forward a little bit, kart 10. This is the fastest man on track, and so we want to get as much information as we can. Kart 7 swerves over, slows him down. There may be an opportunity here. Kart 7 going wide there. Kart 10 slips through. I don't think we'll be able to. He has a wobble. We have to back off. Make sure we don't smash into him. Make sure we get the switchback done. And now we're just back to consistency and intel. Gathering information on what's going on in front of us. Just because you're approaching back markers doesn't mean smash them out the way. Treat them like no other position. So, kart 10 looking for a move on kart 6. Bumps, sparks coming from the wheel. So, everyone's compromised here. Be a little bit patient. We'll be able to carry the speed through here. To a crash. Kart 10 has to swerve, gets T-boned. We managed to slip out of that and survive. That's the key here. Survive. Kart 12. And so, gathering information. We want to just understand their driving style. Exactly what's going on. Managed to catch up a bit too quick. So through here, yeah, turns well too early. We know exactly what it needs to do. Get our positioning right, our line choice right to get that overtake done. That's our strategy there. Once that's done, consistency back on the board. And we'll just gather information on the next karts. We're not even worried about karts behind us. Kart 1, sorry. Around the outside. And now we're just watching kart 13. We need to have patience. We can't really do anything here. Like, we could have forced our way maybe around the outside. But obviously, we've seen what he does. The Allen line, as we call it, and I thought maybe he'll do that again, so we're better off waiting, concentrate on our acceleration and braking to make sure we get through that corner right and get the job done. Kart 16, this is a guy, did he have a crash earlier? We've seen him before, so just turns in well too late, not carrying enough speed, not committed enough, so we know we could just go down the inside. Nice classic switchback. And again, we're back on our consistency, gathering intel on the kart ahead. The earlier you can grab the information, the more you know when you get there. It's one thing catching, it's another thing overtaking. And so you want to gather as much information as possible. You see here, he goes for a move on kart 4, and we want to actually just slip in behind him so we don't have to waste any time. Get the timing right, so no time's wasted. Day, kart 11, the second fastest man on track. I'm going to start reeling him in. You see, into turn 1. He's slide step, bit of a moment. But we're patient, we don't get desperate, we don't see him make a mistake. I think, oh, and then absolutely send it. Forces us into a mistake. So we always stay composed. So, another slide. It was damp conditions in everyone's defense. It was hard to navigate. So we're sit in a slipstream, sorry. Get that adaptability turned on, because anything can happen. You want to be ready. And if we come into this left-hander, you'll see. Look at that little slide. So that's going to force him to miss the apex. He didn't have his kart in control at his turning in point. So he's missed the apex. We're going to dive down the inside. Get that move done. And then we just go back to consistency. That got us to the kart. That will get us away from the kart. No need to overthink it. Just try and get the job done. So you see kart 15 completely gone deep. And that's what we're looking at. He's gone deep again, so we might be able to go around the outside. I thought he was going to move over. We'll go to the inside. He blocks that off. Be patient. Back out. Don't start causing collisions. We're just going to sit in this slipstream and just be patient. Try a different line. Maybe we can get a bit more speed out of it. He goes really deep. Nice, simple, down the inside. Another one checked off the list. And there's actually only one more left. Wong. Kart 8. So we're watching him. He was the fourth fastest on track. And as we watch him come into this chicane, if you like, it takes a completely different line to us, but actually works. I wish I had seen that earlier, because I would have tried that. A little slide there. Turns a bit too early. Goes deep. We're going to capitalize on that. And even he knows it. He shook his head. That's an overtake done. But as we come through, he's on a much better line than we are. We've gone a bit too deep into there. Now he's back on our gearbox. We need to be ready to defend. We need to start thinking about our line choice. As we have a look, see if he's going to go for a move. Make sure we get the braking and acceleration right. We tried the same line that kart 9 did, Harris, earlier on when we was behind him. That seemed to work. He took the tight line. We're ready to fight. if we need to. This is the last lap. And look at the karts in front. Back markers, couldn't really get past them. Don't want to smash our way through. We've got car 8 on our gearbox. We need to get these moves done. Have a look to the outside. Get that stuck. Ready for the inside on the left. We're now watching kart 15. He's having a bit of a moment. He takes kart 13, Alan's line. And that pays off for him. Goes defensive. We're going to capitalize on that. Get ready for the overtake. We're side by side into left-hander. He bumps us off. Kart 8's trying to come back. There's no point fighting. We're the first across the line. Honestly, how do we do it? And that is how you overtake everyone. Yes, I know I'm brilliant. That was an insane race, which was meant to be a practice session. What a laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Merry Christmas.